right, 5-9 gamers, welcome back to the Ultra Space Time Podcast, episode 54. I am Super Vegeta. I don't know. That was a terrible impression. Don't judge me. Anyways, as always, before we start, don't forget Twitch Prime is not a crime. So if you have your free Prime sub, consider giving that one to us if you want to support the stream. And make sure to check out our Linktree. Link is in the chat right now or in the description down below if you are on YouTube. So you can follow us everywhere. We go TikTok, Facebook, Reddit, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all the good stuff. And with that said, today I am joined by the Banana Man, Battleamore. What's up?
I am Battleamore.
Hello. Damn, that was so much better. And we have our one and only half of the God Key mains in here. Swift, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I can't follow up after Battleamore, but I'm good.
And then we have another God Key, but more like a Saiyan, hybrids everything, free to play main.
That's Noctis.
What's up, Noctis?
Free to play, yeah. That
Free to play
that
indeed.
gets me, yeah.
Free to main. And then we have the Controller God, the artist formerly known as Controller God. We have ZVG in the house.
Yo, what's up? What's good?
Yo, I pray.
USS main, by the way. Not Gaki anymore.
Oh, interesting. And
We moved,
today we're gonna, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. We're gonna talk about the topics we have. We're gonna talk about the Zenkai Super Vegeta. Is he a blessing for Super Saiyans or not really? I'm gonna talk about the free-to-play Kid Buu, the event, and since that's pretty much everything the game decided to give us, we're gonna talk about the state of the meta again, just seeing how it has progressed since the last time, and just what's the current teams, what's annoying, what's good, what do you see a lot. And with that said, Swift, how do you like that Super Vegeta?
Okay, so I wanted to start this off because I actually have like some opinions on this guy. I did Zenkai him. I've been playing with him. I made a video on him. I got some opinions on him. So first things first, I want to say this is a Zenkai that you probably should not go for unless you actually either main Super Saiyans or Super Saiyans is one of your main teams. Obviously, he's built for Super Saiyans. You're really not going to run him on any other team setup. So if you main Super Saiyans, I would say there's some value in this guy, especially because you can get part of his Zenkai for free, which is kind of nice with the new kind of Zenkai system they got going on. But yeah, jumping into like his kit, his stats, what he actually does, he's got decent stats. They're not like amazing. They're not game breaking, but they're not bad either. He does decent damage, but I will say he kind of relies on Bardock. Once again, he's built for Super Saiyan. So if you're going to Zenkai this guy, I would not run him on any other team except, Super Saiyans alongside Bardock for those crit buffs. One thing I love about this guy, well, there's actually a couple things. So his main ability obviously draws his ultimate, restores ki. He gets a 20% damage cut, kind of a, balanced main ability. It's not anything too crazy. But the thing I love, if you go down to his unique abilities, obviously his first and second ability are nothing too special. Those are kind of what he had, before the Zenkai. But if you look at the third and fourth unique ability, the third ability, every single time the enemy switches characters, okay? He restores ki by 30. He gets a 30% damage cut for 10 counts. And then he gets his vanish back 100%. So, and that only activates once, but it resets every single time you bring him into battle. So basically every single time you bring this guy into battle, you have an opportunity to get your vanish back if you play it the right way. As long as the enemy swaps out or you kind of force them to swap out, you're going to get your vanish back. So that right there is my favorite thing about him. His fourth unique is obviously not bad either. Every time he comes into battlefield, he restores health by 10%, restores ki by 40, and then he picks up some damage buffs. So, and he also picks up a 60% strike buff, which is kind of nice considering he's a blast unit. So that basically translates to, if you're running Super Saiyans with Bardock, you can swap into this guy, get the Bardock and the crit buffs, and he's going to do some really good blast damage, and his strike damage won't be that bad either because he is picking up a 60% strike buff. The one thing I will say about this guy, what I noticed right off the bat, he does not have the best defenses. If you start taking hits with them, he's probably going to go down pretty quickly. That's probably, in my opinion, his main weakness is just the fact he doesn't really have the defenses to tank too much damage. But I mean, overall, if you're running this guy alongside Bardock, I think he's going to perform pretty well. He's going to have good damage output. And if you really get good with, like I said, that third unique where you can really take advantage of getting your Vanish gauge back, I think this guy can be pretty viable. But, you know, like I mentioned, he's really only going to be viable alongside Bardock. I would not run this guy without Bardock. I just don't think, you know, if you're running him with no Bardock, I just don't think he's going to have the damage output. But overall, I think he's really good for Super Saiyans, and his Zenkai ability, I was kind of hoping it would be Yellow Super Saiyan, but they ended up giving him just Yellow Saiyan, which, you know, it is what it is. I think Super Saiyan would have been nicer, but, you know, now we can double Zenkai buff Evolution Vegeta, right?
Yeah. I mean, who would have gotten that buff if it was Yellow Super Saiyan? It would have been the Yellow Future Gohan. The old one?
That's what I was hoping for, because I could keep this guy on the bench
and
then I could Zenkai buff the future Gohan. But either way, I do think this guy is a viable yellow unit on Super Saiyans. Like, he's actually not that bad at all. Like I said, his main weakness is just defense, but damage output, especially with Bardock buffs, he actually has some really good damage output. His ultimate doesn't really hit that hard. I mean, it's not bad, but I would say most of his damage output is going to be coming from his blast cards when you have Bardock buffs and you're getting those crits and stuff like that. But I would say for most people, this guy's probably a skip, just because, you know, if you're not maining Super Saiyans, you don't really need this guy. But if you are maining Super Saiyans, you know, you got to remember his Z ability buffs blast attack and critical for Super Saiyan. So if you're running this guy on Super Saiyans, literally every single critical that you're going to hit, it's going to be doing 24% extra. So, and I noticed that I notice a big difference when I throw this guy on the bench, just in the crit damage alone. So yeah, overall, in conclusion, I think he is really good as long as you're, you know, playing on Super Saiyans. And if you main Super Saiyans, I would say this guy's worth it to go for. But, you know, if you're not playing with Super Saiyans, it's probably a skip.
Is there anybody who like legitimately mains Super Saiyan though? I'm wondering.
I mean, there's still pretty many.
Oh yeah, there's
420
definitely
Jesus.
people
That
that
guy.
rock Super Saiyan a lot.
Yeah. Though I have seen different combination with that Vegeta, like the new Kaba Senkai, for example.
That's true. I've seen that one.
People combine that with Kaba, Bardock, and that new Vegeta.
Oh yeah, that probably would be kind of a cool team. I don't know if I would run that team in high ranks, but that sounds like it. It actually sounds like that'd be a cool team though.
Yeah, since Kaba is also a Super Saiyan, so he technically gets the crit buffs too.
Yeah, the only downside is that I think this Kaban, after his Zenkai, give strike and blast damage, or just damage inflicted, because I think before his Zenkai he only gave strike damage to Vegeta's, right? And that
He
Vegeta
gives
is blast
strike
based.
damage. Yeah. But he gives blast base now too,
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Because that
with
helps.
the Senkai. Though not equally as much as strike damage.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking that one slow. I got the missions, the one in the special tab, because I also only had him 7 stars when his Zenkai came out, because he's not
Yeah,
on
me
very many
too.
banners. So I got those missions, and other than that, I'm gonna daily him as far as possible, and then probably do like a multi or 2 in the last day to just finish him up. Same as Kaioken Goku.
Yeah, that's definitely the smart way to do it. Like I said, unless you're playing with Super Saiyans all the time, I would just skip this guy and just make sure you do your dailies, and you can get, you know, I think you get, I know for a fact from the missions, you get like 2,000 Awakening Z power. So
Yeah.
that's right off the bat, you get Zenkai 2. And then if you're doing your dailies on top of that, you could probably get them up to Zenkai 3, maybe Zenkai 4.
I think this banner is there for a long time.
In
Yeah.
total, you can get him to Senkai 4 with everything.
So
I also
that'll
got
be nice.
Yeah, I also got the missions with the Chronos, so there's another 1,000. I think 1,000 Awakening Z power in there.
Yeah.
So
Or like 1,200 or something.
something like that, yeah. But yeah, I have not seen him in PvP at all so far, but I also have to say I'm not in the higher ranks. Just earlier on the pre-show, I breached like battle rank 50, so
I think honestly, in high ranks, I don't even think he's gonna be. He's probably not gonna see much. He's not gonna see much play time. The only time, like I said, the only time you're gonna see him is if you're running into Super Saiyan teams, and then even then, I feel like a lot of people just keep him on the bench for his Z ability, just because he's buffing the crit damage. But
Right.
like I said, if you're running Super Saiyan and you need a yellow unit, he's not bad. He's actually decent. He's got good damage, and then the fact he gets his vanish back when the enemy swaps out is just huge, dude. Like,
Yep.
I can't tell you how much I love stuff like that where you get your vanish back.
Especially if it's since it's 100%, it's not like 40%, which is super situational, but it gives you the entire thing back.
Yep, and it refreshes every time he comes. There's no limit to it.
Yeah.
The only limit is you can only do it like one time per,
Switch.
swap in.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get that vanish back, you swap out, and then next time you swap back in, you can do it again. It's actually pretty nice.
The really
Can you
weird
please
thing
get
for
a
me,
LF Super Vegeta? Thanks.
the really weird thing for me is that he gets like the damage cuts when he is pretty much on the priority. Like when the enemy switches, you get like a 10 count damage cut, and when you use his main ability, that's like kind of weird for me. Like always when he is on the offensive, you have like access to defense cuts, and when they have
Yeah.
priority, they're pretty much gone.
Yeah, there's
That's
certain
kinda
situations where like maybe those damage cuts might come in handy, but like overall, when you look at his kit, he's lacking on damage cut in general. Like I think the only damage cuts he gets like the 20% damage cut on his main ability, and then he gets that other like 30% damage cut where you were just talking about when the enemy swaps out.
For 10 counts, yeah. Which
So,
is
and that's why I was saying, like, his defensively, he's kind of lacking. That was one thing I noticed is he really can't take too many hits. But offensively, he's actually got some decent damage with Bardock at least.
But yeah, one trick pony, only one team viable, basically.
Yeah,
That's
Super
also so
Saiyans is
niche.
going to be the only team you're going to see him on.
Yeah.
That's not very interesting. Like, it's like, okay, you'll play this
Yeah.
for a little bit and then you just get, it's like a toy. Like I buy a toy for my cats. They play with it for like an hour and then they just get bored of it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much though.
Well,
Yeah,
he's confirmed bench on my Super Saiyan team, and I might not bring him every single match, but if I'm running Super Saiyans and I need a yellow unit, I'll bring him. Like I'm not scared to bring him. You know what I mean? He's definitely good enough to be viable. Like, especially with Bardock, his damage output is going to be pretty damn good. But like I said, just defensively, he just cannot take a hit. So normally on my Super Saiyan team, what I do is I try to build Bardock as tanky as possible because he's already pretty tanky just by himself. So normally with Bardock, I'll throw like double HP equips on him and stuff like that. And then that way, when I'm playing Super Saiyans, I can kind of use, the Super Vegeta or Revival Gohan or the Blue LF Broly for damage output. And then if I ever need, somebody to swap in and tank some damage, I'll just go back to Bardock and, I just build him tanky so he can soak up the damage.
But would you pick Vegeta over LF Future Gohan? As your
I haven't
option?
decided. I have not really decided that yet because obviously like the one that Revival Super Saiyan team that I was running, which is Bardock, Revival Gohan, and Future Gohan, that team is just so nasty because not only do you have Bardock buffs and you have a lot of damage output, but Future Gohan has that disruption where he can swap in on a blast card, stop a combo, destroy enemy cards. He's got permanent card draw speed, which just goes really well with Bardock buffs. He's got a really
endurance.
hard-hitting ultimate, so
Yeah.
honestly, it's going to be hard to beat Future Gohan. That's why I was saying, like, I low-key wished his Zenkai buff was for Yellow Super Saiyan, because then I could have just had both of them on my team, and I could have just, like, picked whoever I wanted. But
Which is always Future Gohan.
yeah, but at the end of the day, I do think I think having a yellow Zenkai option is nice. Because I honestly think the Super Vegeta at Zenkai 7, let's say you have him at 14 stars, Zenkai 7, he's going to do more damage than Future Gohan does. But Future Gohan has card draw speed, so he can keep combos going longer. So there's like pros and cons to both of them, I guess. And also Future Gohan has endurance, which, goes pretty well alongside Revival Gohan, where the enemy just can't really use their rush.
Yeah, or if someone actually used that Vegeta and surprised the enemy, because not many knows how that Vegeta works, like the extra vanish.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and
I
it
see-
always
I-
comes in handy, bro.
Yeah, I tested that out, and when the opponent swapped in, or when I defeated a unit and he got a new unit, he tried to rush me immediately, and I was like, no,
Bye-bye.
no.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
kind of how
Thank you.
some people are still forget about the LF Piccolo's main ability, for example.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's kind
Yeah,
of
so-
I think it's cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually really like this unit. This is a perfect example of how Zenkais really should be. And it's just kind of sad that they weren't like this from the beginning. Like, just imagine Zenkais were, more on the balance side from the beginning. And I feel like PvP would be a lot healthier than it is today.
Basically,
Oh yeah.
basically, if all the Zenkais would be like they are now.
Yeah, if they would have just kind of went with the more balanced route. But I will say, this Super Vegeta, I think they gave him a little bit more love than the Blue Gohan. Like, if you look at the Zenkai Blue Gohan, he's decent, but, like, he's not really a unit that I would feel comfortable in high ranks. But I feel like this Vegeta on my Super Saiyan team, I feel like I could run it at high ranks if I wanted to. Like, he's really not that bad. It's really only his defense. Other than that, he's got good offense. Especially with Bardock when you're getting those crit buffs anyways. Like, it's... I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Super Saiyans has crazy damage output. And now that we have Revival Gohan, who's also a Super Saiyan, obviously before he transforms, you have that Revival to stop the enemy rush. Because I look back at Super Saiyans, like, 6, 7, 8 months ago. They've always had good damage output. You could run Bardock, Red Super Gogeta, stuff like that, and just have crazy damage output, but they had no way to stop a rush. They had, really no defensive options. But nowadays, you can kind of build a setup with Bardock, Revival Gohan, and, either Future Gohan, the Super Vegeta, or, Blue LF Broly. And you kind of got the best of both worlds. You got really good damage output, and then you also have that defense where you can stop a rush. So I think Super Saiyans is actually in a really good spot right now.
Yeah.
Especially if it's hybrid Super Saiyan, right?
Oh yeah. That's fun.
It's always fun.
They like defense though, if you
Yeah.
run that setup. Unless you have them 14-star everything.
I mean, as long as
Don't
you
you?
have them like 9 stars and stuff, or even though 6, 7 works too. It depends on the equipments you have on them.
At 6 and 7, they can get pretty destroyed. I can
Yeah. Equipments are key.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I run Super Saiyans, I try to build Bardock as tanky as I can. I throw like the highest HP items that I have on him. That way I can kind of, rely on the other units for damage output. And then if I need somebody to soak up damage, I just swap in Bardock. And I mean, Bardock, if you look at Bardock's stats, he's nothing to mess around with. He's got some crazy stats. So you factor in some HP equipment on top of that. And dude, Bardock is pretty damn tanky. But I don't think Super Saiyans is like a Z tier team or anything like that. They're definitely not Z tier. They're probably like, mid S tier, low S tier, something like that. But
Yeah.
I think
compared
Super
to the
Saiyans
old
is in a
times.
good spot though.
Compared to the old times where Super Saiyan were the top, if you remember Holy Trinity.
Oh yeah.
That was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Seeing the same team over and over. It's almost like now.
Oh well, it hasn't really changed
That's cap.
anything, does it?
That's cap. That's cap.
At least back in the day, the games were fast.
Ah, true. But technically, yeah.
DVG coming out of the woodworks here.
But remember,
Yeah, that's
back in
cap.
the old days, you could not cover more than once.
True.
Yeah, that's also right. Why? the
Bro, I'm
games are,
so
like,
glad they
fast back
changed
in the
that.
day. Me too. So happy. So glad.
Definitely a good one. All right, so I guess that's it for the Zenkai Super Vegeta. We got another unit, and I guess some people were surprised. I was surprised. We got a green free-to-play Kid Buu. How do you like him, ZVG? Is he viable?
No, I will. Yeah, I'll definitely say that he's viable. But honestly, I haven't even grinded him at all. Honestly, I just haven't been playing PvE for the game that much because it's so boring. But looking at his kit, he seems pretty good. He has a team heal. He gives his allies another attribute downgrade up to 2 times. It comes to the battlefield, has 60% damage reduction. He also has a debuff when he enters the battlefield, with plus 20% of damage received. Now this is very good because not only him can abuse it, but also his teammates can also abuse it as well. So they'll be doing 20% extra damage. It's against all enemies too. So it's not just the enemy that you're facing; it's all enemies, which is very nice. He also has support when he swaps out. He gives them 30 key and 30% damage inflicted. Pretty good. So he's like a support defense type for like Region, even though Region already has the best one of the best green defense types in the game in Fabu. But I still think that this guy is
It's Battleamore's favorite unit.
But I think this guy is he's definitely viable. But I think the thing is like so many Region players, already have Fatbull Zenkai 7 that I don't see this guy being like a focal point of the team. And he's also PO2, which is pretty good. So if you're missing units for PO, if you want a PO support unit, because I don't think PO really has support units, and then like Bojack who gives like 20% to damage support. So this guy could actually be a pretty good unit on powerful opponent just for the support alone. Team heal, damage when he swaps out. He also shortens allies substitution count by 2, activates twice, and restores only by 10% after the enemy attack is over. Pretty nice. His blue card though, 100% chance to inflict paralyze on hit. Do you know how busted paralyze is?
No, I don't. Explain to me.
Cannot be.
Explain like I'm 5.
Alright, basically, you and your opponent are having a guessing game on when the paralyze is going to activate, and whoever makes the right call basically wins the game at that point, if that makes sense.
I
It
understand.
cannot be nullified. It cannot be nullified by other special moves, which is pretty good.
It's also teachable to Shallot.
Yeah, so, this is going to be Rana Shallot, if he does get that Super Saiyan Blue form, just guarantee paralysis, and he also can be nullified by special moves. So is it a long animation? I'd assume that it is, since it, can nullify more special moves. So I'd assume that it's a long animation, so you guys really want to, like, frame trap or, like, make sure that this can guarantee get a hit, because if not, I think you're going to get, pretty hurt, even though this keyboard can tank quite a bit. His stats are fine. 162, 160 at 14 stars, 242, 238 attack, and 2.4 million health. Pretty decent. His green card also debuffs enemy -1 to their art card draw speed, which is very, very good.
So
I think
annoying.
only a select number of units actually debuff card draw art speed for units, so I think it's pretty good. It's a green card. Just pop it, instant debuff. You also restore key and also get damage for your allies and yourself, so it's pretty good. I think this is gonna be a little interesting, but I think that this guy could actually be pretty decent in TOP. I've never actually talked about TOP kits and everything, but I think this guy would be pretty good, especially for me who runs region in TOP. This guy could probably be a unit that I bring into the battle. He does have support. He also heals himself too, which is good, and he also debuffs the enemy as well. So I think this guy could be actually pretty decent. In TOP. Palms, the TOP god would have to elaborate on that, but from what I'm reading right here, he seems alright. But overall, I like him. I like that he's free to play. He's good. He's viable. I've seen a lot of people say good things about him, although I have seen that his damage is kind of lackluster, which does make sense because his kit really reads like a defense support type for PO and region.
Well,
What do
he
you guys
is a
think of him?
support type.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
He is
yeah,
a
okay,
support
yeah,
type.
yeah, okay, yeah. So it makes sense.
He's not
But
really
then
meant to
again,
do
you have-
damage.
You have types that don't really correlate because like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is a defense type even though he can't defend. So I never really trust the typings, you know what I'm saying? So it's I never really look at that. But he seems fine, he seems good, and the only thing I can say about him that I've seen so far on Twitter and the community is that his damage is kind of lackluster, which is fine. He's just a support and tank for the team, and I think he does that just fine.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, sounds good.
Though, in fact, with his blue card, by the way, his blue card even works when you rush your opponent and you didn't pick the blue card.
So if the blue card gets used during the rush, it also paralyzes?
Yes.
Damn!
Great.
It also
That's nice.
paralyzes.
That's pretty crazy.
That's insane. But yeah, I guess that's the card
pretty good.
effect. Jesus.
Bro, I've ran into him a couple times in PvP. He actually seems decent. Most of the time I see him, it's usually he's on a regen team and they usually bring double green. They'll just bring this Kid Buu alongside the Fat Buu. But I
Yeah.
mean, as long as you have a strong purple unit on your team, then that's not really anything to worry about.
I mean, people use green, green, yellow, with Demon King.
That team would be that team would actually be pretty good, honestly. You have
Yeah,
Kid Buu
that'd be tough
supporting
to
the
take
team.
down.
You got Fat Buu tanking, then you got Piccolo DKP doing the damage. So I think it could work, but obviously it's not the most optimal region, right?
Yeah.
But still, I think this guy can, he has some use, honestly. I think he's pretty good.
Though to me, he's more focused to be on powerful opponent, I think.
Yeah,
I
I was
think
saying,
so
because
too.
he has support, which PO doesn't really have at all. PO just basically every single left in the game just mumbled up together with no cohesiveness. But I think this Kid Buu is there to like bring the team together,
Yeah.
Is he kind of like a spec down Vados for region on PO or something? What do you think?
Yeah, basically is what I would say. I mean, damage after he swaps out,
I
boosts the
mean-
enemy. He has a team heal as well, so he's kind of like Oob in that sense, even though he doesn't really have, the endurance factor. But I'd say he's more like a Oob.
I
a Oob
knew it.
type. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he seems alright.
So who of you actually has used them?
I have.
And how did you like him?
I liked him very much. Like he does his role that fix like a support unit should, and he can tank. But also he can do damage if you keep swapping in and out of him, because he does shorten substitution count if you cover with him. And with that, you can easily go back and forward, boosting other characters like up to 30 to 60% before it ends. It's kind of crazy. Also, the blue card is way too OP. 100% paralyzed is so annoying, because that blue card, it feels like you're facing Hercule again. Like, you get paralyzed so often.
Too OP, please nerf.
crazy. Oh, it's just crazy to me. He's very good for a free-to-play character. I wish they continued to do it, because it's so easily to grind this unit.
Oh yeah, that's something we got to talk about right there, is the fact how nice this grinding system is. I hope for any
Wait, what?
future free-to-play units, they gotta do the same system where we can just run adventures in the background, and after like 4 or 5 days of running adventures, you already have them like 10 stars or whatever.
Wait, is that how you start up Kid Buu?
No, you just
No, Kid Buu, like, you get a lot of C power just to
skip to the event.
do this. Yeah, just do the event.
And it's really
Okay.
easy to do. It's like you just go in with like a Saiyan Sunfam unit, kill him, and then you just use skip tickets for the rest that you need. I'll
Oh
just
yeah,
do
I'm
the
tripping.
dailies.
The Cybermen was the adventures.
Yeah.
The Kid Buu event, you just did energy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they can
Exactly.
Kid Buu use energy,
I
but you
haven't
don't.
even-
Hey, both of them are nice. Both of them are nice.
Yeah, and,
I think I only put like 400 or 500 energy into Kid Buu, and I think I have him like red too.
I have not
Something
even
like that. I didn't put that much
in.
energy into him.
Yeah, as long as you spend and used him, like, it requires that you still use a Majin Buu Saga and Regen to do like strike hits, blast hits, of course. But if you're already going to use it on PvP or USTR when it exactly started, you will get all the points. It's like, it's no question there. It's like you would not even think about the mission, how to create it. The Majin Buu is just insane. Also, it's still just 16 days before it ends. At least for
Yeah,
from now.
the event's here for a while.
Yeah, and I have him already 11 stars.
Damn. That man is dedicated
there's
to the
a-
grind.
There's a daily event too, I think, right?
Yeah, the daily event too. So sometimes I think you don't even need to finish all the mission, maybe. I do not know the multipliers, but you get a lot.
Yep. I mean, also you get, I think, 200 from the daily stage. You get some of those, like
Yeah.
you get 30 of those coins where you can get more Z power. I guess we're now taking away Noctis's topic, but hey,
Yep.
it is what it is, Noctis.
gone, Ned.
Get cucked. I mean, get whatever. No, but it's pretty easy to grind, really. And then just play with like what Battleamore said, play with Buu Saga characters, and you're good. And since
Dude, yeah, I have him red. I have him red 3 right now, and I feel like I haven't even grinded him that much.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
whatever system this is, they need to keep it
Yeah.
for real.
I also-
Super
All
nice.
the free to play units should be like this, Boo, for the respective teams.
Also, I want my adventures back, like the normal ones.
Dude, I've been so out of touch with the game that I haven't even granted any of the 7 men at all.
What?
Like, I haven't even finished their event yet.
You're not
honestly.
missing much.
Dude,
Yeah, you're
they're-
really not
No.
missing much, but if you're a collector, then go for it.
dude, for TOP,
No, I'm not
they're
gonna
actually
say, I just-
viable.
Ooh,
Really?
Now you tell me,
Yeah.
Poms. Now you tell me.
Yeah, in TOP.
Dude,
yes,
I am
they
playing
are
a
viable.
complete free-to-play team in TOP, and I will definitely finish in the top 500. With
I'm also doing
Must be
so.
nice.
I'm using the
Must be
minions,
nice.
so I'm using like I'm using Qcon Man, the yellow one, because he heals. I'm using Kaiwaran Man, the blue one, because he supers every fight. And I'm using the red one, Tenant Man, because he has like a 20% chance to use a second blast after a blast. And then I'm using the Apul Force. And
Huh.
I am surviving. Like I am right before my last fight. I'm good, dude. Like this is such a viable free to play TOP team. It's incredible.
Dude, as
copium,
he
man.
said
I'm
that
sad.
as he said that the Cyberman squad is garbage and only the yellow one is good.
Right, they're in PvP. They're not great. I tried it. I got so frustrated. I stopped.
Oh yeah, in PvP they're trash.
I mean, it's just like they compare the Cybermans with the Frieza Force, Apul Force, the Frog Force.
Yeah, but why shouldn't
what
they?
it's called.
Why shouldn't they? They're free to play both,
they,
right?
They should. Yeah, and what they lack, the Cybermans, is key restoration.
Yeah, they
And
have it.
I kind of think that they have everything except for endurance and key restoration. Nothing that can save them.
Probably
exists
damage
in this.
damage output as well.
Yeah, but they have support unit that buffs them. Like you have a pool and stuff. You can go around it, and you have death buffs too if you use the green one. But yeah, you do not get key.
Yeah, unless you use the blue, the main ability with Kaiwara Man, the blue one. He gets like
Yeah.
50 key on the blue card or something. And I've seen somebody, like a friend of mine, Mikado, like one of my mods, sent me pictures of one-shotting, like red 14-star Zenkai 7 FSK without the last man standing buffs, but he one-shot them with the freaking Cybermen. And he also one-shot he one-shot a revival Gohan after his transformation with that dude as well.
Are you talking about with the one that self-destructs?
No, the blue one. The blue one is
Yeah,
basically built around his special move.
Yeah, blue card.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say because I know isn't the green one the one that self-destructs?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I know because he like locks in. I think when
Yeah.
he goes to pop the awakened art, he locks you in, which is actually kind of nice.
Yep.
And you can tell that the self-destruct actually does a lot of damage. Like I've seen it happen to me before, but yeah, overall I think the Cybermen are definitely lacking.
Yeah, I wish they just took more of a approach of like a pool force.
Yeah,
with
they did a
the-
great job with the Apul Force.
yeah.
Yeah, if only the next one when the Cell Saga comes, we don't know which one we'll get. Please, Super Warriors. But we probably get Cell Juniors and a lot of them.
That would be cool.
But we don't know. Yeah.
But then they would just be called Cells Junior 1, Cell Junior 3, Cell Junior 77.
Probably.
I mean, they could just be called Cell Juniors, but different colors.
That's true.
Cell Junior, Cell
I mean,
Junior Junior, Cell
they're-
Junior
they're-
Junior Junior.
Yeah.
There are literally so many interpretation of many units. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, since we're talking about them right now, I'm thinking they really were maybe made more for TOP. And I think that there is actually a dude who was first at one point with the minions. Almost the same team as I was running. And they were in first place, so that's possible.
Yeah.
That is cool that they did that. You know, they may not be very good in PvP, but the fact that they're actually somewhat viable in TOP, that is kind of nice. Especially for like free to plays or like newer players, they can just grind up these units and then at least they can get CC from TOP.
Yeah. Also, I just checked.
true.
I haven't done my last fight, and I'm still like in the 704th with this free-to-play team. So
Yo, how much energy are we gonna get for TOP between today and tomorrow and Tuesday?
you mean before it ends?
Yeah, before it ends.
4 more.
Okay,
yeah.
thank God.
I don't know. I mean, we got one more 40 minutes ago. If you don't count that one, it's going to be 4 more. Otherwise, it's going
Nah.
to be 5.
I don't count it because I missed it because I was
Alright.
full on energy.
Yeah, then it's 5.
Okay. Alright,
Also, I
alright,
see
so then
I
should be
see
able to
Lucy
finish
in
it.
28th. Let's go, Mr. Veggie Fam here. But I digress.
I feel like we are going off topic right now.
Yeah,
though.
maybe a little bit, but we have a little bit of time, so.
True.
But I feel like we can actually use a lot of time on the last topic, since we already talked. Well, actually, let me ask xNoctis. Is there anything you want to talk to us about the event that we haven't said yet?
Oh, now you're asking.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, it's pretty straightforward event, like we already said. You just bring like, I don't know, purple SJ3 Goku if you have him Zenkai, breeze through the whole event, get the coins. You can have that exchange shop, which I don't think anyone mentioned.
True.
There you can get Z power, you can get energy, you can get skip tickets. You also can get hoi poi coins.
None that
But yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was EVG's
the best thing in the game. No. But yeah, other than that,
You're talking about the Kid Buu event, right?
Yes.
yeah.
All right, let me go do that right now.
Breeze through it, get the coins, exchange the coins, have him 14-star, and be done, pretty much. And you have a really decent free-to-play unit.
Right.
Indeed.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's the event in a nutshell, pretty much.
Easy peasy. But yeah, I agree
One
with
of
that.
the better PvE events.
Yeah, I mean, it's also
will-
it's very easy to do, which I like.
Palms, I wanted to ask you because I know you main regen. Do you think
What, me?
Kid Buu? Do you like the fact that he's green, or do you wish he was a different color?
Could have been red, but then we have two red Kid Boos. It's just I feel like that region is still like lacking a solid red color. Like I don't know, I don't like using Zamasu to be honest for some reason.
Or revival set.
And I also don't like him that much. But then again, I play region without a red unit.
Oh,
So I
okay.
feel like green is actually okay. It's just that he's not
Okay.
gonna take Fat Boo's spot. That's the problem, you know. So either you run green, yellow, or you run Fat Boo, or no green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's does Kid Buu, does he have a decent Z ability for regen?
He has for both powerful opponent and region both defenses.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yep. That's a good one.
Oh, yo, wait a sec.
What's that?
Wait a second. Do we get LFZ power with this holy point?
Yes.
Yeah,
200.
200.
Bro, how did nobody tell me this, bro? What's wrong with you guys, man?
You mean what's wrong?
Oh, it's
You
our
should
fault.
find on your
It's our
own.
fault.
Says the guy who's like, oh, I
what?
haven't been keeping up with the game. La, 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 la.
No, I haven't. I haven't been.
Yeah, I noticed.
I
We still got
mean,
11 days.
We see that
You
now.
still got 11 days for the hoi poi.
Yeah, you have enough
is
time.
Is it only the Kid Buu event that we get the holy
Nah,
point
there's
from?
missions.
No. There are
Oh,
hoi
we
poi
can
missions.
actually talk about this real quick. Apparently, this is going to be confirmed that there is going to be another raid. We just don't know when, because in the hoi poi, it says you will get it through raid. So
In the news, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, so we might get another raid for just grinding hoi pois.
Which is dope.
why
I
is
think
everybody-
the more raids, the better.
Why is everybody in chat like trying to disrespect me right now, bro? Listen, I might be a content creator and I might write for Game First, but that doesn't mean that I have to keep up with the PVE.
That
side
doesn't
of
mean
the
I know
game.
shit, and you
Okay.
have to trust my articles.
PvP is the main focus of the game. Okay, that is my defense. Thank you very much.
Sure. Sure thing. Damn, I just finished my last TOP battle. I got 5 million points. Let's go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just did my last one as well.
Let's see where I came
I'm
out.
still 3 away. I'm still 3
45
away.
million. Let me see. Go back to the strongest hero. Sure missed. Yeah. Okay. But in the meantime, we have one more topic, and that is the state of the meta. And okay, I am 23rd. Nice. So, sorry guys. Battleamore, what are the current teams that you see? What are the things that are annoying you? Is there anything that has changed in the last couple of months, in your opinion, in PvP? What is the current meta like?
The current meta is like usual. We will see mostly hybrids and Saiyans. Like there is no between there. You will always see hybrids and Saiyans. But I feel like region has coming a more step up because of the new Majin Buu. And also, I feel like many are trying new teams. It's like I see sometimes Super Saiyans. I see more LOE nowadays too.
What?
Though not a lot, but I still see them.
Okay. Like what?
Yeah,
like-
and I also
Yeah,
see mostly powerful opponent too, because people are testing out the Majin Buu with the Zenkai Frieza. The LF Zenkai Frieza.
Yeah.
Fair.
I can see that.
So-
I see LOE every once in a while as well, NPO.
Yes.
But yeah, a lot of hybrids, a lot of Saiyans. You know,
Yeah,
there-
but it's mostly Saiyans, hybrid Saiyans, Sun family, and region from what I see. I mean, I see God Key here and there. I see Super Saiyans here and there. I do see powerful opponent, but if we're comparing to the top 3, it is hybrid Saiyans, Saiyans, and region.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then you could probably put movies up there as well, but I've actually been seeing less movies recently. I still see them, but I think like right after 3rd anniversary, right after we got Revival Gohan and Gokua, like everybody was running movies. And then now, you know, we're kind of a couple months after that. I feel like less people are running movies, but I mean, movies is still phenomenal. Obviously, they counter hybrids with Gokua and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know. There's part of me that, you know, I remember the Vegito Blue meta. So whenever I think of the Vegito Blue meta, I want to say that this is a diverse meta just because I compare it to the Vegito Blue meta where you're facing this literally like the same team every single match. But, you know, so there's part of me that kind of wants to say it's diverse, but at the end of the day, especially if you're, you know, top 5K, top 1K, you know, even higher than that, you're going to be facing a lot of Saiyans, a lot of hybrids. So, you know, it's kind of diverse, but at the same time, it's really not diverse because you're still fighting like basically the same, you know, 2-3 teams every single match. So, and, you know, hybrids is, you know, gotten a lot of love recently. I feel like, you know, there's been some frustration in the community with, you know, how many, you know, revival hybrid units, how many hybrid units we've been getting recently and stuff like that. I definitely understand it. I'm just hoping we're at the point now where they can just be done with hybrids and then they move on to another tag and hopefully they just don't look back, you know? Hopefully they're just
Ever.
kind
You
of
said this like 2
done
weeks
with
ago.
hybrids. Oh, I know. I know. I still have a little bit of hope left.
I agree 100%.
Only a little.
Though I have noticed now, even though there is a golden showdown where double RP, there's still less players now in the game.
I think
I
this season, and it's only because it's Golden Showdown and it's double rewards, like you get 2,000 CC for top 10K. I think there's probably more people this season than last season, but I know this season, last season, and then the season before. Basically, the past 3 seasons, including this season, you can tell the player base is way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the other Golden Showdowns and stuff like that, yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah, dude, you look at the game like 7-8 months ago. If you wanted to get top 100, you literally had to play like 6-7, sometimes longer than that, like 6-7 hours a day. Nowadays, if you want to get top 100, as long as you're you know winning your matches somewhat and you have a decent team to play with, stuff like that, you could literally get top 100 just by playing, you know, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, something like that. As long as you're consistent with it. You can just tell, especially at high ranks and lower ranks, you can tell there's a lot less people playing.
Yep. I mean, also, if
think-
you know, if you don't play for a day and you're out of the ranked areas, it's going to be really easy and quick to go back to, you know, like top 20
Oh, yeah.
or something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing I
And
want
I
to
mean-
say about the meta.
Yeah, I also saw that.
Sorry, problems. You can go.
I have to say that the Golden Showdown shop actually brought me back to play a little bit more just to get stuff. Like energy,
yeah,
hype
the
tickets,
shop's
you
always
know,
nice.
the shop is
some
back.
of the multi-Z power
I
maybe, but
forgot.
also erasers. I think there's quite a bunch of good stuff in the shop, so...
Yep,
You
erasers.
can
That's
get
what I always go for.
erasers, C powers, a lot of that helps the current new units, like the All-Star banners came out, like the Rival Universe, and they're also for the new Saiyan saga, like Region and Hybrid Saiyans that are buffing Gohan and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean also, isn't it double crystals? So,
Yeah, double
Yes,
CC.
it's double CC.
you know what's...
Which is awesome because
300
I was
in the
kind
shop,
of
right?
You know what's...
I was kind of getting annoyed at the double RP seasons where it's like, oh, you're not going to get double CC, but here's some Ultra Z, you know, here's some Ultra Goku Z power, and you're just like, thanks. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really need that.
You know what's funny is I have a Noctis problem. I have...
Wait, what?
Last banner treated me so well that I decided to just dip, and now I cannot actually take the Chronos from the Golden Showdown shop because I'm over 20k.
Oh, you filthy
Must be
hoarder.
nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah, totally.
Must be nice, huh?
Yeah, duh.
I think
I mean, what do you
one
think?
thing I'll say about the meta right now is the fact that there are a lot of good teams in the game right now, which I think is something that we should be happy about, because you got, even though you get like hybrids and Saiyans, you still got Super Saiyans. You know, Frieza Force is really good. Saiyan Saga is really good now. God Key is obviously alright. USS is good. Androids can still be ran, like Sun Family.
I feel like a lot of teams at least have stepped up.
Yeah, and I like that.
Yeah, a lot of teams are very PvP viable. Right? Even though, you know, Saiyans and hybrids are still the most used teams in the game, right?
Yeah.
But I'd say that
Yeah.
the meta is diverse compared to like other top metas that we've had, like Holy Trinity, you know, first year anniversary, and the GT Saiyans dropped.
I mean, technically, if we're comparing from the old anniversary and how the system and everything has changed from back then, I feel like this is much better.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say too. And so, even though there's like a lot of hacks going around and people are quitting PvP, which are understandable, I mean, the game is really doing nothing to, like, you know, make us want to play PvP. And I'm gonna bring this back into my point here, where we should be getting more PvP rewards. It's been 3 years now, and we still had the same 1KCC season every single time except for RP, which I think that 2KCC should be like the standard.
Yeah, I agree.
Or like or add in. I know this will like
Hoi Poi rewards,
bring up
bro.
the frequency of cheaters or something, like either Hoi Poi and then Z-Power or something regarding PvP, because the rewards are just terrible, like compared to what we should be getting. It's been way too long now. We need a whole overhaul of the rewards. Like,
I agree 100%. Bro, if they gave us, like, even if it was only like 2 or 3 Hoi Poi per match, you know how many people would come back and just grind PvP for that Hoi Poi? Like
2.
No, I feel like they also should increase the cap of how much CC you can hold, because I feel like that is still stupid.
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, there's no cap, but there's an exchange cap.
Yeah, that's
But
That's what I mean.
that's what I mean. I mean, you should be able to have as much as you be afford. Sure, there's an exchange cap because children might accidentally use money that is not supposed to be, but still, it still takes money.
No, they don't care about that. They just don't want you to hoard. But at least they changed the rate system so we can get that 1k guaranteed rate CC,
Yeah.
which was terrible before. That was the worst thing ever. Skipping on the 1k CC on the rate because you couldn't take it because of it was an exchange. That was terrible. Now it's only pretty much the 300 CC from the Golden Showdown and the exchange shop or the co-op. But that's it.
I saw somebody in chat have a pretty good idea. So we were talking about PvP rewards, you know, possible Hoi Poi per match. And he said, you know, they should really give just regular Z power in PvP, even if it wasn't that much. What if it was like
10.
You know, every single win that you get in PvP, you get 10 Z power. That way, if you want to get 100 Z power, you gotta play 10 matches or whatever. So, anything like that, I don't feel like it's like they're giving out so much that they're gonna lose money. But it's like, you know, they're giving out just enough to make people want to grind and make people want to play. And I think that's what they really need to focus on right now, because, you know, they should know by now that PvP keeps this game alive. If they don't know that by now, then I don't know what to say. I feel like the developers, they definitely should know that the only thing that's really keeping Legends alive is just like the PvP player base. There's a lot of dedicated players that play PvP, they love PvP, stuff like that. So they need to really capitalize on the fact that, you know, PvP is the main attraction of the game. So maybe boost up the rewards a little bit and help, you know, bring the player base back up.
Yeah, I feel also that their choice of banners still is stupid. Why the LF banner only contains
Oh yeah, the
2
banners lately
units?
have been bad. And then let's not even talk about the last All-Star banner with they changed the rates. That was ridiculous.
Why couldn't that just be combined with the LF banner? That's what's stupid to me.
I don't want to turn this into like a, you know, like where we're just kind of complaining about stuff. So we can kind of spin it into a positive and just say, you know, if you look at the game now compared to, you know, a year ago, I would say they've done a lot of good things. They have done a lot of good things, but there is some other stuff that needs to be worked on. And especially recently, like we've all said, and I'm pretty sure everybody's noticed, there's a lot less people playing right now. which is not good for the game. And I don't know about you guys. I have my issues with Legends. I don't I don't love Legends every single day. There's times that I get burnt out on Legends and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I still love this game. I still love PvP, and I don't want to see this game die. I do not want to see this game die. I actually really do love Legends. I love playing PvP as long as everything's working right and there's not like laggy matches and stuff like that. I have a great time. So, I hope they know what they're doing. I hope they can figure out something to bring the player base back up, whether it's, like ZVG and some of us said, like it's boosted rewards or, something, man. They got to figure something out to, make people want to come back and play. Cause at the end of the day, man, I do love this game.
Wait, so the new platinum equipment did not make you want to come back and play? The one that gets like another huge buff to FSK?
Oh, the one for the one for Cell Saga. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why is that a thing?
I don't know, but
we obviously all know why it's a thing because LSL is coming very soon. But
Hope so.
Yeah.
Other than that, they should have put Cell Saga and then put cannot be used on hybrids, like a little text down the bottom. Like you give them more ultimate damage, and oh my gosh, it's just made for FSK, man. Like it's crazy. Like it's genuinely crazy.
Yeah.
Not that much of a big buff for him though, because he
I'm
already
just
has
thinking
such
about the
broken
positive.
equipment.
Wait, let Noctis finish. What?
He already has such broken equipments that this equipment doesn't have that much impact.
Yeah.
So you
for
think
sure.
you think this one doesn't even make the cut of the top 3?
It could.
If you run
It depends
Trunks,
what you want.
If you run Zenkai Trunks,
I think
it doesn't-
Wait, let
did
Noctis go first.
if you run Zenkai Trunks Z7, it doesn't make the cut. It's not optimal. If you don't run Trunks, it's arguably that you should run it. Because Zenkai Trunks boosts your damage so high, and the pure blast equipment with the Trunks on it, that's like the one equipment you could exchange for this one. But if you run Zenkai Trunks bench, it's way more optimal to run that Super Saiyan Awakened pure blast damage instead of this one.
You're talking about the red
And the
Trunks,
other
not the
two
blue one,
are-
right?
Yeah, the red
Okay,
Zenkai
yeah.
Trunks. And the equipment is the one where Trunks is basically Super Saiyan, that awakened one, which gives blast damage, blast pure damage, and I think strike defense. But yeah, and the other two equipments are obviously his own awakened equipment, his plat, like his own plat awakened, and obviously the hybrid's pure about double damage equipment. But
Obviously.
yeah, if you don't run Zenkai 7 Trunks, you can arguably run it, but it's still not that broken compared to the other equipment. So he doesn't get that much of a buff like people think of that equipment.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. The way I look at it, so this plat equip, it's pure strike defense, pure blast attack, which is nice. It is really high blast attack too, 35%. And then the second slot is blue card and alt damage. So the way I look at it, FSK Gohan, your goal with him is to not use the ultimate until he's last man standing anyways, right? And he already has such a hard-hitting ultimate. I mean, so you can either look at it like, wow, okay, so you got 8% on that hard-hitting, or 10% on that hard-hitting ultimate. Is that really going to do that much more? I mean, he already one-shots everybody in the game. So do you really want that extra alt and blue card damage, or do you want to go, like Noctis said, with the pure blast attack equipped? So I guess it really just depends what you want. But at the end of the day, this is not a bad equipment for him.
Yeah, think about it this way though. How many times a game are you going to use the ultimate? Once. How many times a game
Right.
are you going to use a blast card with that character? Maybe twice. How many times a game are you going to use a blast or a strike card with that character? Way more. So I'm assuming that the damage output is going to be just much higher if you don't run this equip and use the pure one.
Yep.
Especially with Trunks bench, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Because you already got like Noctis said, you got the Awakened Hybrids equipped that is basically a must-have. If you're running hybrids, you want to have at least 3 of those at pretty high rolls for all 3 of your units that you're bringing to battle. The pure blast attack, pure strike attack equip. And then obviously FSK has his own Awakened plat equip that is basically a must-have. So there's really only one slot open, and kind of like we said, you can either choose between this one, or you can choose between, I think it's called Awakened or something like that. And it's
Yeah, something like
strike
that,
defense, blast defense, and then pure up to pure 10% pure blast attack. So just depends what you want to have, I guess.
Yeah. Though we are going to talk about how this equipment actually helps Super Warriors.
Do it.
Because mostly all of them are Cell Saga.
This man wants a sparking
damn
TN.
it.
Kiko, how you doing?
Dude, I grinded up to 6 of this equipment.
Bro, I love how Battle gets so excited over Super Warriors.
I know,
That's
right?
what I am.
Banana Man.
Well, Super Warriors are represented of protecting Earth, okay?
Just like you.
Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
Why do they never succeed though?
Don't say that.
Yo, which stage do I grind the Z-Power for Kid Buu at?
Well, you can only do the daily stage,
just-
and then you can get the medals for the exchange shop, and then the rest you get
Oh,
almost
okay.
4,000 from missions.
Yeah, there's a bunch for
Oh, okay.
missions, and then you just got to get those coins.
But yeah, just get the coins and then get to do the daily stage. The daily stage also gives you 30 coins every day, so you actually don't have to even stress and use energy that much if you remember to do it every day.
Okay.
I do have started to notice a pattern, because when the other plat equipped, for Anime Original, Frieza got a Zenkai. And this time it was Vegeta, and we got this plat equipped. Will that be the same for next
Let's
time?
go,
or is
LF
this going to be a
Cell.
pattern?
Bro,
We
I
did not
honestly
have
think they
one.
are dropping LF Cell soon. Like, there's no way they drop a Cell Saga Plat Equip and then not drop LF Cell.
It's gonna be a Cell Saga Plat Equip and then Cell Juniors.
LFTN.
I'm sorry.
Bro, we do
Excuse
need
you?
a Sparking TN. We do need a Sparking TN.
Yes, don't you know? The Tri-Beam against the second form cell.
Yes, but LF Cell. Excuse you.
Excuse you, that Super Warriors need support?
Yeah, they've always needed support. That's why they have Goku.
They still need support.
They need Jesus.
I just need one broken unit, okay?
Support ain't enough no more.
Imagine Goku being like nailed to the cross or something.
I'm still confused about Kakarot Goku.
Super Warrior Jesus.
Please, let me dream.
Yeah, a man can dream, right? A banana can dream too.
Yes, that's not the point, though.
No?
The point is, please, Toshi, I beg of you.
Okay. Did you see Scott saying, remember when GT needed Jesus? They got him.
Yeah.
They got their Lord and
Well,
Savior.
They got him. It just took 2 anniversaries.
GT needed 20 units to be.
Yeah,
good,
it
and
only
they're still
took
at
2
the
years,
level.
but yeah, they're actually
They
really damn
needed
good
20
now.
units in 2 years to finally be viable.
20 units and 7
And even
Zenkais.
then- yeah, they're like 5-6 teams better than GT.
7
That's
years
crazy.
later.
Or we can actually Zenkai the ultimate Chaozu.
Sure. And then he will just do like 20% more self-destruct damage. Let's go.
Okay.
And you can play him
not?
to-
At least that's something.
And then he will get the minion tag so you can play him together with the Cybermen. Easy.
Do you guys think they're going to continue doing Legends Road Zenkais? Or, I mean, we haven't seen one in a while, have we?
I'm assuming they're going to finish them at one point.
I feel like, I know we got a couple more left. We have that green. I feel like if they Zenkai that green Legends Road Gohan, I feel like it would be really good for Legends Road, but obviously, like, I guess you could run it on hybrids. But now that we have the green Revival Gohan, I feel like no matter what, he'll probably be the better option just because he has Revival. But I don't know. I would like to see them finish the Legends Road Zenkais though, for sure.
Yeah, they should.
Not
Those
that they're-
exist?
Yeah.
not that
used
they're
to.
too impactful in the meta anyways.
I
but-
mean, I wish they got all Zenkais, or we can at least have more Legends Road unit. Though the new system, I find it more appealing to all the teams.
I mean, honestly,
You know,
they
Majin Buu.
yeah, but they started it, so they need to finish it, right? So who do you have left? We have the Yardrat Goku, the red one. We have the purple Saiyaman, and then we have the
Great
green.
Saiyaman!
Then we have the green Gohan. Is there anybody else missing the Zenkai from the Legends Road team?
No, I think it's them.
I mean, like, it's 3 Zenkais. Just finish them. We already noticed that you're not going to do any more units, so just finish the Zenkai so we can use them, and we get the full color wheel.
Did Prof rate us?
Yep.
Yeah, shout out Prof for the
Hey,
raid.
Prof.
My bad, go ahead, Palms.
Appreciate the raid.
Yeah, I guess that's the current meta is not really very conducive to trying out a lot of niche teams. Not if you get like nuked by freaking hybrids and Saiyans, so you can't really try.
Bro,
out
I
those
swear,
teams.
the second you try to build a fun team, like literally the second you go to PvP with a fun team, you get matched with like a tanky Saiyan team or like a tanky hybrid team. Like it happens every time.
Yep, I confirm.
Yo,
And then as soon as you switch back to your
Can we,
sweaty team, then you match like all the random people, and then you go back to the fun
Every
team, and
time,
it's
yeah.
it's tanky team.
Every time.
Yep. Even when the season
can
starts.
we talk about?
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, you
Even at the
cannot
start.
What were you saying, ZVG?
Can we talk about how the gauntlet is so unbelievably boring? Like, just take it out of the game. I thought I could stand it, but I just can't. The mental energy that it requires for me to go through 100 battles of this nonsense, bro, is absolutely mind blowing. Like, I just can't. Like, it's free CC, yeah, but the event is so unbelievably garbage.
I mean,
It is
the last
so
the last
bad.
30 battles, I agree. The rest is just click simulator.
Yeah, same.
Like it's
Yeah,
you know, you
just
click
click the
battles, I
first
loved it.
70.
It's still boring as hell. It's still boring as hell.
Yeah, I
That's the
agree.
issue.
I
It's so
agree. I
boring.
agree with you. The one thing about the gauntlet, like you said, free CC, and then it seems like they're going to keep them on a rotation where it seems like, what is it, every 10 or 14 days or something,
every 2
there's
weeks.
a new gauntlet.
Yep, like our
Which is
USTR.
nice. You know, that's a guaranteed 700. It should be 1,000. Let's just be honest. It should be 1,000 CC, but it is what it is. It's a free 700 CC every time. It is super boring. I'm not going to lie. Like it's, you know, if they're going to let us click through the first 70 battles anyway, then you might as well just make the event the last 30 battles. What's the point of the first 70? You know what I'm saying? Like you might as well just make
mean-
the entire event the last 30, but either way, it's free CC.
I mean, to be fair though, we did when we still had the Rising Battle events, we did ask for being able to start at like battle 40 out of 50. And that's what they gave us in a way, right? Because they still need to kind of have like a pretense to give us CC to not just drop them in the gift box. And also I remember somebody in chat, I think earlier asked like, hey, I still don't know where those 500 CC went that they took away from the rush. I guess now we have an answer. It's in the gauntlet, but yeah.
I feel like
technically it
the
wasn't bad
gauntlet
for
almost
TOP.
like took the place of the Rising battles.
Yep.
I mean, wasn't that on TOP?
Could be, but it's like TOP gives you 1,000, right? Even more. If you finish,
If you play it correctly.
easy. I mean, is there a way to play it incorrectly? I wish there was I wish
do.
5-9 would make a guide on TOP. Oh wait, we already recorded it. We're going to, push it live very soon. So keep an eye out for that one. Haha, commercial. And with that said,
just
yeah,
wish-
let's go ahead.
You would get something extra from the gauntlet.
Like what?
You know, like a character or something, like, I don't know, something else. Not just the 700cc, just like something else. Just
think
like
it
the
was a
Rising
typo.
Battle.
There's a hot-
If
where
I'm
we got
gonna,
like a
if I'm gonna have to
character.
lose hours of my time doing this boring ass thing, give me 5k CC. I'm not joking. 5k. Give me 5k, bro.
Dude,
5K
no, it should be one. It should be
Okay, right.
1K. It should be 1K.
What about
Give me
erasers?
5k out it instantly.
Erasers.
Yeah, it's something, bro. Erasers, energy back, like skip tickets, a character, just something. Not 7 heroes, basically.
Fair enough. All right. So this bit pretty much closes out our discussion portion of the podcast. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back in 3 minutes with questions. So have them locked and loaded. And as always, donations take precedence, but we try to answer as many questions as possible. And with that, we'll be right back. All right, we are back. I hope you enjoyed your break as much as we did. We certainly did. And I'm going to hand it over to ZVMC, who is going to take your questions. So take it away, MCVG.
Alright, so A35 says, do you think Legends is trying to nerf card draw speed? Both Super Vegeta and Kid Buu have it in their kits. I wouldn't say they're trying to nerf it. I'm trying to say that they're trying to add more debuffs to the game, if that makes sense. Because very rare do we get units that actually debuff card draw speed. I think the first thing that I saw that did it was Zenkai 7 EXL.
We got
So I'm
FSK
very-
on blue card as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, it's very select number of units. So, I mean, card draw speed is very critical in the game. You know, units that have card draw speed are generally very good. So them having a debuff for it is actually something that I'm okay with. What do you guys think about the card draw speed debuff and if they're trying to nerf it or whatever?
I mean, I think it's pretty good that they are trying to at least some units have it.
Yeah.
Because if every unit had like that, there would be a very, very long meta.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's no secret, like, a unit having card draw speed literally is just so important. Like, you can extend combos, you can get yourself out of tricky situations just by wasting time. You know, a unit like Vado, she doesn't even do damage, but just the fact that she gets cards and it just gives you the perfect amount of time to, swap out if you need to, something like that. But,
Yeah.
there is a couple units, like, I think Palm said FSK's blue card. I know I think Zenkai Bardock's blue card reduces card draw speed. The Super Vegeta reduces card draw speed by 2, which is kind of nice. That's something I forgot to point out when we were talking about him.
And Kid Buu with the green card.
Yeah, there's a couple units that do it. I actually like it because, like I said, card draw speed is so important to the point to where, like, if you have a unit that can, decrease the enemy card draw speed, then I think that's actually pretty nice. I don't think it's going to make or break a game, though, because eventually, depending how long you sit there and wait, you're going to end up drawing 4 cards anyways. But in certain situations, I think it can be really nice to have that.
I mean, also.
All right.
Wait.
I'm sorry, Palm.
I also think that it's kind of cool that they're trying to do like different buffs and debuffs, because this way you also have to kind of look out for playing around that. For example, if you get card draw debuffed and you already notice that you're not getting the cards you need. And a lot of people forget about what, the other units do. And then everybody on the Kid Buu is just going to focus on the paralysis, for example, with the blue card, but they don't even notice when they get the card draw debuff, which is the green card, which is also, you don't need to land it or anything. You just use it and that's it. So I feel like that's a cool thing. I don't think that they're per se trying to nerf like a certain stat. It's just that it hasn't been done in a lot lately. So now they're just kind of catching up, I guess, because everybody buffs like damage received or debuffs damage taken or whatever, but card draw is not something that is debuffed a lot, so I feel like that's actually fair.
Compared to the units that has like card draw speed or even double card draw speed, like the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku or Maju with his main, I feel like they could help.
Yep.
Alrighty. So next question, take it from Mustache DB. Do you guys think PvP could benefit from a league system like TOP, increase the rewards per top 10 to 20k each league, and have Z League give 3k CC minimum for top 10k? I think I would really like a league system similar to like how I think Fighters has a league system too or whatever. So I think a league system would be good. Honestly, to keep the best players in that specific area.
Yeah, I agree with that. I actually think that is a good idea because, I feel bad for, when the season resets and I get, we get sent back down to 35 and then I'm matching, rank 20 or rank 30 or whatever. And you can tell it's like just a brand new player and stuff like that. Like that stuff shouldn't be happening. Like if I'm somebody that's been playing the game for like, 2+ years, I have a decent account, decent teams. There shouldn't even be a situation where it matches me with like a brand new player. So I think some type of league system would be nice, and it would also reward the players that play more, kind of like he said, like, the higher, like, let's say the Z tier league or whatever is like maybe 3 or 4k CC. So you're getting higher, you're getting rewarded basically for all your grinding, which, if you look at PvP nowadays, it's really just, it's either top 10k or first place. That's about it. Like top 10k, you get your 1000 CC. And then if you're top 100, you still really only get 1000 CC. I think you get like a little bit of extra Z power if you're top 100. And then the only way you can get bonus CC is if you actually get first place, which if you know anything about matchmaking, if it's pretty hard to get first place unless you're on JP. But
I think that if they do add a league system, then they have to, and I mean have to, open up the queues to like our regions, like what they do at the beginning of the season. I think otherwise from that, it's going to be very difficult to find matches, like for NA, especially NA. It's going to be very difficult to find matches if they do have this, league system like how they have in TOP. But other than that,
That
I
is
don't
true.
think there's really, yeah.
That is true. Yeah, if they separate the player base, because we've already been talking about how the player base has gone down. If they separate the player base even more with the league system, it's just that basically is just gonna translate into really long matchmaking times. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it is a good idea, but they would just have to, I guess, test it out and see if it's really worth doing or not. Either way, I hope we get better PvP rewards though. In one way or another.
What would you like to see?
Agreed.
For me personally, I would like to see hoi poi. I want to see like, maybe even like I said, even if it's only like 2 or 3 hoi poi per match. That means if you sit down and you play 20 matches, you're gonna have like, a decent amount of hoi poi to hopefully get some slot removers and some other things, stuff like that. Or, somebody else brought up that idea of Z power. I think, even if it was just small amounts of Z power per match, it could add up to be pretty impactful when you're trying to grind up units to higher stars. Anything to encourage people to play PvP, especially nowadays when the player base is struggling. I think any type of extra incentive is gonna help the game in the long run.
Agreed.
Fair enough.
All right, I think Berg got a very good question. Oh yeah, he did. Okay, so with Legends being more generous with CC and free characters, would you guys like for the team to focus more on new and different kinds of modes and events that are actually fun? If so, do you guys have ideas for what those events could be? Honestly, I think Legends really put themselves against a wall when it comes to like the PvE of this game, because the PvE of this game I don't think can ever be fun or good, because we play PvP and we know how it is to play against a real player, but playing against the AI is just so frustrating because they're gonna PV you, do all this stuff, and it's just unbelievably obnoxious to go up against AI in this game. And that's why people just do the float step thing now, where like they just can't touch you at all and they just can't realize that you're just abusing this bug over and over again until they win the game, right? So I don't think Legends PvE can be fun. I'd like to see them try at the very least, but I don't think, it's been 3 years now, I don't think it'll get, drastically better in the game. What do you guys think about PvE and what modes they could do?
I mean,
or whatever?
one thing I would like to see, but I think that they also still would have to improve the way you can cheese it, is like the boss rush mode. Because right now what we have is just a tower. It's just, you use the same team over and over and over and over again. But what I would like to see is you just get like, I don't know, 10, 15 like fights, and you have to use the same team in all of those fights. And if one unit dies, you don't get to use them anymore. And if one unit loses HP, that HP is also lost in the next battle. So similar to what Dokkan has with the boss rush, kind of, just from one fight to the other, and then the HP goes through. And I mean, you would probably get your main abilities and stuff like this back, but not the HP. But I think that would be kind of cool.
Almost like a tower
mode.
battle or something.
Yeah, like an actual.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I will say certain things when it comes to PvE, it's going to be tough because, we've already said, PvP is really what kind of holds the game together, in my opinion. So when it comes to PvE, I think like, you look at like the Try to Surpass Me event, and some of them are easy, some of them are hard. I remember like the first like 1 or 2 Try to Surpass Me's were actually like kind of difficult, but then like some of these more recent ones were more easy. But I think stuff like that where it's actually a challenging battle and you have to kind of strategize on what team you're going to bring, and obviously they always have the boost units, which is like the newest units that you have to summon for. But other than that, if you don't have the boost units, you have to actually kind of strategize on how you're going to handle the situation and stuff like that. So maybe Try to Surpass Me, instead of only being 3 fights, maybe they extend that and make it 5 or 10 fights and actually make it kind of engaging, where you have to, you really got to strategize what you're going to bring to each fight. Each fight's different. You might have to switch up your teams for every single fight, something like that. And then that would also be better rewards. Maybe they give out some more of those, summon tickets for each fight. I don't know. PvE is tough, man, because it's obvious PvP is what holds the game together. So
What about you, Noctis?
I mean, just how the AI is facing the AI. I can barely imagine any mode that would be fun in the long term. It's like it's a new mode, you're like excited to try it out, and then you play through it and be like, oh god, now I have to do it like every 2 weeks. And it just gets annoying. Like I don't know, facing the AI is just bad. Like
Yeah.
getting Pv'd, if you engage, you only have to wait and do like a blast card immediately and then get your priority, do the float step and win. Like it's just the AI. It's just annoying, dude.
Yeah,
And more
I agree.
PvE events are just too
I think
long.
one thing that would be fun is like if the boss applies like different debuffs to you to the point where like you can't run the same team over and over again to like beat the boss. Like you gotta strategize, you gotta mix and match units, this and that. I think that'd be like pretty good. Like the boss can pose in you, this and that. So like the way PvE works in this game, you pick one team, boom, and you just clear it. Like that's part of the reason why like there's no team building, no strategy involved. The boost unit, you sat down on your team, boom, and you do it already. I think they should really like make it so that we have to like really build a specific team to try to counter this specific boss, if that makes sense. Because there are a lot of units in the game that never see any play that could potentially be good in different game modes if they they make the game mode cater to those like units. It's just like how Butix is so trash in PvP, but in TOP he's like a god. You know, like something similar to that sense, but like we're actually fighting the AI, a boss, like the co-op boss, you know, once his shoes breaks, applies a debuff or something of that. So like I think that'd be a way to like spice it up a little bit and to make it not like, you know, pick boost unit, instant win. And that's just completely boring to me.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe one day they kind of restructure how the AI works and it's not so, you know, annoying to fight. But yeah, for now, I agree with what Noctis said. The AI is just kind of, I mean, we all know how it is. Like the second you go for a blast, they just instantly PV you, stuff like that. Like if they can somehow make the AI more human-like, I know that's probably way easier said than done, because I don't know how you would even program that to make it more human-like, but if they could somehow do that, it'd be nice. But like I said, it's probably not an easy thing to do.
But I think they should still try.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, guys. Any other questions in chat? I'm not really seeing too many questions in chat.
Oh, no opinion about me. Okay, I see how it is.
Talk to us. You're a
about
grown
it,
person,
there's-
Battle. Just
there's no
open your
questions in
mouth when you
chat.
want to say something.
But I don't want to disturb when you guys are talking, okay? I just want to hear about your...
And now it's your turn.
Yeah. What I want is a big raid boss. Like a huge, humongous boss, like 2 characters actually have to fight against.
You mean co-op?
Like you fighting Osarus, Hirudegarn, Baby Janemba, kind of those kind of stuff.
I think that'd
Like,
be cool.
but-
I remember like Toshi said that it might not happen because like
They're
phone
lying,
requirements
they're
and
lying.
stuff like that.
They're lying. They're lying.
They once
lying.
said that they can do it, but you have to have more advanced phones. Like they could put
Bro.
it in the system. They haven't mentioned it.
They literally said that they couldn't put any more equipment space because of something, and then they were like, "Oh my God, the Legends Pass, 400
then
more
Legends
equipment
Pass
space."
comes.
Like,
Yeah, let's see
Oh,
when
yeah.
let's see
And
when
that-
that is actually
I'm s-
coming.
I'm
Yeah,
still
we
kind
still
of
have
upset
it,
about
yeah.
that.
But yeah, what I want is like a huge Asara battles, like fighting great apes, baby Vegeta, Hirudegarn, everything like that. You are 2 guys, like in TOP. Like it takes 2 weeks. You only have 3 chances, and try to get as much a score as possible. And you
yeah,
are
that
teamed
sounds
up with
good.
one guy. That both of you have to have the high score, and there is a ranking system to this. And if you are high enough for doing much damage, or surviving, or take healing and everything, the timer runs out, the more points you get, and it helps to go to the top. Also, we will get another chance to get more rewards that way too.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean-
I agree. I like that a lot.
I'm all open for new stuff like that. I'm definitely open for it.
I mean, you can easily make a strategy. Like poison has something to do with this, bleed has everything to do with this to just get more points.
Or the new LF character.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really want them to focus on the huge raid monster. You have to have a certain tag, and your partner cannot use the same units as you do. Like, simple as that.
I mean, that is a good idea to kind of bring some refreshness to PvE. You know?
Yeah, it would be fun too, because you're fighting a huge raid boss and you have to strategize for hitting, surviving, inflicting poison, inflicting bleed, everything that helps to get you more points.
All right.
That is my takes. That is my take.
All right. All right. So I think Burge and Universe is most malevolent. Wow, what a crazy name. But yeah. So Universes says that do you guys think Legends is bad? And then Berg said that what are some things that you really like about Legends, considering the fact that Legends has been getting a lot of negativity the past few weeks and stuff. So do I think Legends is bad? No. Things I like about the game, PvP when it works. Yeah, when it works, PvP is incredibly fun.
Yeah.
Like friendly battles are like some of the best. Friendly battles are amazing because one, you're going into it, everybody has the same stars, no randomization or nothing. Then two, there's no rising rush. So there's no, fear of RNG affecting the match to like a certain degree. Even though there's like feint and paralyze and whatever else, right? So I think in friendlies, the game is incredibly fun. Like the combat system is great in Legends, but the lag and the rising rush and just the overall brokenness of some teams just make it not fun. But at the end of the day, none of us here would be playing this game if we didn't like it to a certain degree, right? And I think the PvP is one of the best PvP systems for a mobile game. That's my take. But I like the game, even though the dev team makes some questionable decisions. I think the PvP is pretty fun, and the community in general. I think the community is like pretty good. Like, on Twitch, on Twitter, the Reddit probably not so much, but like on Twitter and Twitch and stuff. The community is great, a lot of good vibes, a lot of good people, smart people, But Reddit is just...
Let's not go there.
It's kind of weird because Reddit is kind of like, let's just not go there. Reddit is okay, but at most of the time, they're just like, not okay, if that makes sense. But that's just my 2 cents on what I like about the game. And do I think it's bad? I don't think it's bad. I think Legends is like one of the best gachas, honestly. Like, for a gacha game, I think Legends is pretty up there, but for a game like in a general sense, it's just not that great, honestly. But as a gacha, it's fine, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's also about expectations, right? Because I don't think that they want this to be a competitive fighting game like Fighters, for example, because it's a mobile game. Even Rhyme said it multiple times. It's not the way it's meant to be played. Sometimes even Toshi said that, which they implement things in the game which makes you think otherwise, like 1 hour adventures. Or you guys remember the 3-minute adventures actually from PvP?
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like you play one match, you reset adventures. That was pretty insane. You also had 10 minutes once. But what I like, PvP, friend matches even more because no rising rush. I love TOP if you haven't noticed. This mode grew incredibly on me because it's a lot of strategy. You can use weird teams and you don't get clapped by Rising Rush. So that's another thing. Asdig, I love bots in PvP because it lets me rank up easily. We do a little bit of trolling here. But yeah, the PvE aspect is not my favorite, I have to say. I am not a big fan, but I like that the game has a proprietary story, actually. Because they actually went down and they sat down and wrote like a whole ass story for the whole game. And that's fantastic for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people really love that story. For me, it's just, I just play through it for the CC, to be honest. So I can get more units for PvP and TOP.
I agree with that. The story actually is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm still kind of on the side of the fence where, like, I still think PvP kind of holds the game together. If they're going to do anything to, like, fix or help, like, just make the game better, it should be something with PvP. But that's just my opinion. Just, like, I don't know. I feel like if they're going to try something new, they got to be careful, though. They can't, like, make a whole new game mode and then take out regular PvP and, like, force everybody to play this new game mode. Like, they have to be extremely careful about how they handle if they're going to try anything new in PvP. They just have to be careful how they do it, because I feel like one wrong move and you're gonna make make even more people not want to play. But at the end of the day, man, kind of like ZVG said, I love the community. I love the game. As long as it's working properly, obviously. When I don't think anybody enjoys laggy matches and stuff like that, but as long as everything's working correctly, I love the game. I love PvP.
Yeah, I agree with Swift and CVG what they said, like 100%.
What about you, Noctis?
I mean, yeah, I also really like TOP. I like that you don't be like, I don't know, that you can't do it in one go. I like the chill of it, like doing like 2 energy a day, chilling. Like I like modes like that, not modes like UST Rush where you just be like, ugh, I have to do it
Last
again.
day.
And it takes like 1 hour and
Yep.
or that last day. But yeah, if PvP is solid connection and no weird shenanigans, it's obviously gluing everything together and keeping the community, just like the others said. The PvE part needs some work, but yeah.
Yeah.
Rather fix PvP instead of PvE though, with the connections and the queue and everything, because that's like the game.
Yeah, and I
So,
know they don't
yeah,
want to pay
that's my
for it, but
opinion.
if they can somehow, make some dedicated servers or whatever it is, like I know it's probably really expensive, but I know that would help probably fix a lot of the lag issues. Because right now, every single match when you go into PvP, it's peer to peer. So even if both sides have good connection, like you could, both have really good internet speed, stuff like that. But if for whatever reason, like you just don't connect well with that person, you're going to have a laggy match. So dedicated servers might be nice, but obviously I know that's an expensive thing. But yeah,
Expensive.
I don't know.
When I think of like that point is kind of funny to me, since these guys make like what, millions of dollars. Bandai Namco. But then
Oh, I'm
again,
sure
they don't wanna
dedicated servers
give
are millions of dollars
Legends.
too, though.
Nah.
Yeah, but I think it's more to the point that Bandai doesn't really want to invest that into like a game like Dragon Ball Legends. But one thing I want to ask you guys, just a personal question: do you guys think that we would have had another like in real life like showdown like what we had before the first anniversary if COVID wasn't a thing? Do you guys think that they would have done it again the following year or no?
I
What
would
do you
have
guys
hoped
think
so.
about that? And also chat too. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. On the, because that honestly that was pretty hype. Like
Yeah, that
the whole
was hype.
community came together, watched this thing for hours, the memes and everything. It was such a great time. And then the reveal at the end of it, it was phenomenal. So I would have loved if they had that again in the near future. I don't think it'll happen again, but I'd really like if it did.
Because you would like to be there.
That was hype. Yeah, I'll be there showing up, be like, yeah, I'm ZVG, you know what I'm saying? I clap cheeks for a living. And yeah,
you
I'm
just slap Toshi and Kagi. I kept cheeks for a living. Slack. Boom.
Straight to the police station.
Straight to the point.
Immediately after that. Yeah.
They probably just did that event to promote the game though, and I don't see them doing it again.
It would be so dope.
Interesting.
I wish they would as well. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
against it, but I
I mean,
just don't see
technically,
it.
they would
Yeah,
just
that-
have to find a way to monetize it a little bit, because they also need to pay for like flying players in there and blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then if you,
Yeah.
let's say you would stream this over on, I think they did it on YouTube, but if you could stream it on Twitch, there are ways to monetize,
Yeah.
or even on YouTube. I mean, you
get subs
still
and
make money
everything.
from the ad revenue and stuff like this if this video stays up. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it could.
Dude, I would love to meet the producer, bro. I'd ask him like so many questions, dude. Like, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy.
So many questions, and then they would cry.
They'd be like, "No, we can't say this. We can't say that. Can somebody please get this guy out
Yeah.
of here? He doesn't."
Can we just get
Yeah.
Ryan and Kagi back, please?
Palms, do you have time for another question?
Nah,
Or
I
no?
think we're already over. So
Well, Hazard.
this is pretty much.
I'm sorry, but well, actually, I'm not sorry, Hazard.
Sorry, not
'cause
sorry.
You were trying to steal.
All
Ryan
right.
from me.
So,
nah, I'm not
this
sorry.
is the end of the Ultra Space Time podcast, episode 54. If you haven't watched all of it, you want to rewatch parts of it, make sure to go and check out our YouTube in about 24 and a half hours, which is when this podcast will go live over there. And everybody else, we will be back in a week with another episode 55. And don't forget, Twitch Prime is not a crime. Follow us on all our social media. And leave us a sub if you're on YouTube as well, if you made it all this way. And let us know in the comments down below what you think is the current state of the meta. My name's Palmzor. Make sure to follow Battleamore, Swift, ZVG, and Noctis on Twitter and find out their YouTube and Twitch pages. Leave them a follow. You will not be disappointed. No pressure, guys. And with that said, have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Peace out, boys. Peace out.